This is your station for new music, 97X, Tampa Bay's new alternative.
Thank you guys for being here. Was your evening full of, Super Bowl snacks and a Shakira J-Lo concert?
I loved that Shakira move.
I was waiting for something.
Oh, the hips? You couldn't see because of the acoustic guitar, but these hips don't lie. The whole time, it was forever.
I'm there. I'm back. Well, thank you again for being here. And I did not realize this was your first headlining Florida tour, so I'm glad Tampa could be a stop. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we've come down here because 97X has been such great supporters, and we've come down for you guys, but we've never, driven down. Through the
really
panhandle
drove through the crazy this time.
Yeah. Stopped at Pensacola, had some seafood, played some volleyball, and then we're here today.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was looking at, you were last here, Next Big Thing 17, and I loved that show because at the end of it, you get so into it, and I think you ran all the way to the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
We have got some great shots of it.
Yeah. For those listening at home, I'm in the back of the building now. I ran all the way back. But yeah, no, we, it's it's a little different of an acoustic vibe. We're more chill and intimate right now. So I'm going to stay on the stage.
But I love that you still brought, the whole band.
That's
it's
true.
awesome. We got the horns in here. It's
All right, I'm
great.
going to leave the stage. I'm going to sit in someone's lap. Coming out.
Now, that was after St. Motel-ivision, and now we have the original motion picture soundtrack part 1.
Yeah.
Which we love Van Horn. We're loving it right now.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the album. Part 1. Do we have a part 2 and 3 coming soon?
Yeah. Ask Stone Cold over here. But, right. There's a part 2 and 3, and so we decided to do it in 3 parts for a couple of reasons. But one, it's the original motion picture soundtrack, so following a movie 3-act structure with the storyline, and you have the 3 acts and the journey through all that, kind of made sense to put it out in 3 parts. But also with St. Motel-ivision, you put out a whole album, and then it's got a couple focus tracks, and instantly it's behind you. Whereas putting on these sections, it's giving people a little time to kind of marinate with it and slowly dip their toes into the pool first, kind of thing, before they dive in completely. Before they get out of the pool, really.
I think you can really take in each song and kind of get to know it.
Exactly.
And it seems like you really have a blast writing music, because I love just reading your lyrics. Van Horn, the first line about the thug life baby. You chose me, I didn't choose this city. What is your process? Where do you kind of start with all of this?
It's thug life.
Right. Yeah, that's a funny one. We tried Hug Life and Pug Life and
Baby Yoda life.
It's there's sometimes when I'm writing and it's just a lyric just pops in phonetically. It just is fun to sing. Diane Mozart had a little bit of that with the Red Rover, send Mozart over kind of thing. But that was the story behind Van Horn. It made sense, but you have to really know the band and you have to know me for that line to make complete sense. Because if you know me and then I sing Thug Life, it's okay, we get it. But it's it's meant kind of tongue in cheek. But I enjoy singing it every night. But I have no idea where that came from.
Well, we enjoy playing it for you. So.
Thank you.
Now, you guys have so much going on in your band, so many instruments. When you're writing, is it hard to pull back a little bit? Because it seems to all work beautifully, but how does that come together?
I think that's definitely something to, because when we go in the production phase, it's at the kitchen sink, and then I think in the mixing phase is really where we start taking things out. Because in the writing phase, it's really don't limit yourself in any way. If you want a full-on marching band or you want the mariachi guys in there, just do it. And then the idea is towards the end, you start taking things away until you get to the parts that are essential. And a lot of the music that we like and we grew up with is kind of big and orchestral or has a lot of elements. So I think maybe we tend to leave a lot of the stuff in the mixing. We don't take that much out. But you'll hear, especially in part 2 and part 3, there's the whole gamut of even bigger songs than are on part 1, and then even much more intimate kind of ones.
Well, we look forward to it, for sure. And it seems like you just started touring January this round. How has it been kind of, I mean, if you judge by Instagram, you're like riding on a float through the crowd. It seems like it's going well. How has it been just kind of taking new songs out there and touring again?
I mean, the crowds have been insane. Like, this has been pretty amazing. I don't think we've ever toured where we can like hold out the microphone and have everything sung back. It's pretty exciting. And the tour itself, the motion picture show, is probably the most intricate tour we put together. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I think it really works because we're trying to create like a cinematic experience without people just looking at a screen behind us. We want them to be part of the movie. So I think you have to use a little bit of your imagination, but when you're there, you'll understand how it works. It's been really fun.
That's cool. And I know, like, even on your last album, St. Mo Television, you had like the visualizer. It seems like you always are thinking really big about the whole experience. For anyone in the room who may not be familiar, I know you have some history with film and you went to film school. Like, how does that kind of feed that part of you? Is that the best part?
There's a scene in the show tonight you'll see that takes place at film school when we met. It's kind of, there's a bunch of scenes, sorry, not to spoil the whole show. But yeah, I don't know. I think if anything, film school, since clearly it's not really what we're doing anymore, we're in the music industry, but we finally kind of tied the two in together in some way to make our film professors proud in some way. So it wasn't a complete waste. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, this will work.
Oh, they're in a band.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we're just like always trying to push the creative envelope for a couple of reasons. One, because we've been a band for a while, and we are very grateful to be where we're at, where we have the resources, even though like we're still a small baby band, to at least try to do something different or try to do something challenging for us. And then also the second reason is because it just keeps it fun, because you don't really know where you're going to go next, kind of thing, and so you got to keep it fun for yourselves.
And thinking that deeply into the the experience for the fan at the show, I think it creates a different kind of moment. Maybe they've never, if they've never seen you before, it's definitely memorable.
Totally, and if they have seen us before, they've never seen us like this. That's the idea, is that when you go to a same Motel show, if you've seen us 50 times, if you've seen us once, it's going to be every concert we treat it with a new approach.
Well, we'll get the new approach. Ybor tonight, the Orpheum. We're really excited for the show. I do have a couple more questions from you all. Amber from Sarasota. Which of your songs mean the most to you?
It's a good question, and really probably an unfortunate answer, because they're like children, and you can't pick a